Had 32 at-bats in the big leagues last year when the Dodgers called him up late. Lines this one by Magadan. Leadoff single. So a pinch hit for Chris Gwynn.
4th year in professional baseball for Chris. Spent most of last season at Albuquerque. Hit just under 280. Looks like he's got bat control like brother Tony. Doesn't strike out much. Doesn't walk a whole lot. Sprays the ball around.
Sachs struck out, singled, stole a base. Breaking ball misses. To start the 6th inning, we'll have some comments by Darryl Strawberry in an interview he did the other day with Marv Albert. Comments about the Esquire article written by Mike Lupica. And then Mike will join us in the booth live. (7-2) Mets in the 5th. 2-0 to Sachs. So what do you think? You think this doc business is going to catch on?
I don't really care. I don't think it's of that much importance either way. Do you?
It matters to him. Shorten those autograph sessions.
What's the penalty if we call him Dwight? Is there any?
I'm just waiting for other Mets to request to be called Sleepy and Sneezy.
Davey Johnson feels if he can pitch and win 20, they can call him Herb if they choose to.
Two-one pitch coming to Sachs.
Joe Ferguson, the former coach for Bobby Valentine and the Texas Rangers, now the eye in the sky. Setting the defenses. You were going to comment a while ago, and I kept hitting you when there were 2 outs, about why this Mets team cannot, in your words, I guess, run away with the East.
I'm not saying they cannot.
But you're saying they will not.
I say it's unlikely. I think they deserve to be the favorites. But I don't think they're going to threaten the record for victories in a 162-game season, as you suggested. Remember, the year they won 108, and they had a great season. But the rest of the National League East was down. Nobody else truly had a strong year. This year, even if they're just as good as they were 2 years ago, the competition will be stiffer. Sachs rolls one through the middle, and it sneaks through. A collision between Backman and Elster, and Backman is hurt.
He really jarred his head, it appeared. Got his legs cut out right from underneath him. Wally battling for a position on this team, and he just kept coming.
A half smile on his face, so it looks like he's just shaken up and not seriously hurt. Oh! Actually, it was Elster's head, and then Backman struck his head
on his knee,
upon landing. Let's see. Upon landing, it's got to be.
And perhaps fortunately, when Backman was airborne, because if those feet had been planted, he may have gotten his legs torn up badly. Backman's had a little bit of a hamstring pull. You see a lot of those balls off a guy like Gooden trickle up the middle because of his follow-through. Not hit that hard, but Dwight not in a good fielding position.
So a pinch single by Gwynn. Second hit in 3 at-bats from Sachs follows. 2 on, nobody out. Dodgers trail 7-2 as they bat in the 5th. Alfredo Griffin 1 for 2. And he takes a ball. You know, the Mets have been in 4 pennant races the last 4 years. The only one they've won is the one they broke open early, 1986. The Cardinals have won 3 pennants in this decade. I just don't discount them under any circumstances.
Well, I think the Phillies with a good start could make a run for a while. Cubs should be better.
Cubs have some quality people, but they lack depth in their starting rotation. And that could do them in. But the Phillies have 5 potentially good starters. Not great, but 5 potentially good starters. Bedrosian in the bullpen, and the top 5 or 6 in their batting order, especially if Lance Parrish has a good year. It's a devastating first 5 or 6 slots. Phil Bradley now over from the American League. The Expos were a surprising club a year ago, and Buck Rogers is an outstanding manager.
With a great bullpen. That bullpen went somewhat unnoticed, led by Tim Burke and McGaffigan and several others.
And even along the Met bench, despite the loss of Jack Clark, you hear this phrase over and over again. Whitey will think of something. Next one to Griffin. A bouncer, fair ball. Magadan steps on the bag. Weak throw across the diamond. Griffin beats it, but a nice play.
Magadan was cheating up in case Griffin tried to drop a bunt down and beat it out, and cheating up and also playing near the line to get a better angle in case he did. But an outstanding play. Timed it right, shuffled his feet going after the ball to step on the bag. He's known for his bat. He wasn't supposed to be known for his glove, but that was a nice play early this spring.
Here's Gibson. 2 singles, 2 stolen bases. Ball 1. The irony about the Cardinals as we talk about the National League East, losing Clark, who's now lost to the Yankees for several weeks with an injury sustained while trotting out a home run.
I've heard perhaps a couple months that injury is more serious than they're letting on. I still think the Cardinals are going to get more RBIs from their right-handed bats, not the switch hitters. But Pena's going to be better. Lindemann, I think, will drive some, and Horner's might have a field day with all those rabbits. But I don't think their pitching's going to hold up this year for some reason.
Well, what I started to say was I think the Cardinals are better in every respect except the subtraction of Clark. If Clark were healthy, even though Horner will probably do well for them, Clark was the most devastating hitter along with Andre Dawson in the entire league last year. So that has to be a net minus. But with the exception of that, I think the Cardinals are better in every measurable way.
Pitching too?
Yeah. Broken bat. Tricky hop. Elster gets the force. And no throw on Gibson. Runners at the corners with 2 out. I'll tell you why. They're not going to be without Tudor for 3 months. He sustained the broken leg last year. Now, granted, his knee is giving him trouble, and they don't know. Problems with his shoulder, too. They don't know exactly when he'll be ready, but he's not going to miss 3 months. They also lost Danny Cox for a stretch last year.
Cox is hurting right now, I understand.
He is. He's a question mark. But again, they don't expect to lose him for that sustained stretch. They didn't have Ken Daly at the start of the year last year. Now they do. Left, right, Daly, Worrell. They've added Jose De Leon from the White Sox, who threw very well the last 2-3 months of the '87 season. Pena should have a better year back of the plate. Guerrero hits one softly into right. It drops for a hit. Dodgers tack on a run and trail 7-3.
I agree with everything you're saying, but I look at this Mets starting pitching staff and the closers they've got down there, and I say, they've got a chance almost every single day to throw a pitcher out there, and they're 6 deep that can throw a shutout at you, no matter how good you are.
They deserve to be the favorites.
I agree with that.
But there will be a race.
Not a prohibitive favorite in your mind?
Okay. There will be a race.
Into July?
Into September.
I hope you're right.
Shelby flied to deep right and grounded to second. Gooden in his 5th inning of work. His curveball is fouled back. Shelby swatted 22 home runs last year. Came over from the Orioles in the Niedenfuhr deal.
He played outstanding defense also in center field, something that Tommy Lasorda felt he lacked for a lot of years. He was hot when they first got him, and then they started pulling the string and throwing breaking balls to Shelby, and his numbers tailed off.
You think the Dodgers are still shopping Mike Marshall? Face it, he and Guerrero have trouble coexisting in the same clubhouse.
Well, you know, and yet before the ball game, the two of them were one with the arm over the shoulder of the other on the batting cage. I didn't think that was for show either. I think they've ironed out their problems.
A liner, and the Dodgers move closer. Gibson sprints home. It's 7-4.
And while this is going on, Mike Lupica's aging in the back of the booth, waiting to go on with us. It was not a bad curveball right there. Down in the strike zone, and like most left-handed switch hitters, good low ball hitter, which usually makes them good breaking ball hitters too.
But Lupica is aging like fine wine. Got another novel coming out. Regular features for Esquire. The one on Strawberry has stirred up a ruckus, but there have been others on Al Davis, John McEnroe, Bobby Knight. The regular column in the New York Daily News. And as always, his is a mellow and non-controversial presence, and he'll join us in the next inning. Bouncer foul. Four singles in this inning. Chris Gwynn, Steve Sachs, and then after 2 out, Guerrero and Shelby. Fastball makes Carter's glove pop, but it's high.
And in the National League's Western Division, most people, or many, are favoring the San Francisco Giants. I think Pete Rose's team's going to be pretty good. He's finished second 3 years in a row.
Well, if the new acquisitions, Danny Jackson from the left side, Jose Rio from the right, come through for them, then the Reds can be in the race. They'll score runs in plenty.
Sure are. And they'll steal bases, and they'll chase the ball down well, too.
This one is hit softly in the left. Here's Carrion in his first inning of work, and he has it. The Dodgers score 2, strand 2. After 5, 7-4 in New York.
Version of what he said to me for this Esquire column. His first reaction to Bob Klapisch. You want to talk about what's happening?
That's a double for Hernandez to start the 6th, with the Mets leading 7-4.
Darrell's first version when he was shown the Esquire column to Bob Klapisch of the Daily News was, yeah, I said it, what's the big deal? His second version, 2 days later, when his teammates started to get upset having gotten wind of what he said, was, see, when it's about them, they can't take it. That night, he decided that Mike Lupica had stuck a gun in his ear and twisted his words and misquoted him. Now he's softening a little bit. I don't know what versions 6, 7, and 8 are going to be. What is in Esquire magazine, he said. The only naive person I think in this was me, because I thought Darryl Strawberry would be man enough after what he first said to Klapisch to stand up for what he said. It's not my business to get athletes to take their feet out of their mouths, and apparently that's what Darryl wants me to do.
Mike, let me ask you this, and ball players many times will say they didn't say things that they in fact did. What, in your mind, triggered Darrell's comment? Did you ask him a specific question that led to his going on and on about his teammates and manager?
We were having a conversation about the 1987. This is the sort of thing that can happen.